Yeah. Yeah.
And welcome to another RFHL podcast. I'm back, the mayor. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was trying to be here. Things happen. Doesn't matter. We're on a new week. Week one of the RFHL has officially begun. Great first week of the RFHL. Feels great to be back. And it feels great to be doing the podcast again. It's excited to get back in the broadcast booth. Excited for all the great things revolving our defunct businesses RFHL season. First things first, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, follow the Discord, stay up on the Discord. Everything you want to know about the league will be in the Discord. Facebook still happens, but the Discord is the way to go. Communicate. The podcast will be posted in the Discord. Your team chats in the Discord. And there's tons of awesome, cool channels to find out other cool things about the league in the Discord. Stats, disc golf, other things that you can do for fun. You can find it all right in the Discord. Just wanted to throw that out there, let everyone know. Follow those ideas. And RFHL is staying active and busy. But we have a new week of the podcast, and I've got two brand new guests here for this week. One who's been here before, one who has never been here before. Our two guests tonight. First one is Matthew Westgate Haruski. Matthew, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm excited to have you back. The other one, Brendan. Nice to have you.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Good. I know you guys, I wanted to kind of mix it up. I know Westgate's been on here before. Brendan, I definitely wanted to throw you in here because, I've never seen you on the podcast, and I think this is only your second season in the RFHL. So I felt like the right thing to do to just kind of bring in some new blood, and kind of mix it up a little bit. First things first, I just kind of want to just dive right into our last week's games. We had some really, really good games. It was a great first week and got to see some great matchups. And there's the cat.
I told you the cat was going to make an appearance right when we started.
It was perfect timing. I don't think that timing could have been any better. You specifically said we're going to have a cat appearance, and there it goes. Is a boy or girl?
Girl. I have a boy and a girl cat, and the girl, it's the orange cat. So, like, the orange cat's got no brain cells, so it knew it was going to happen.
That's what we call orange cat behavior. I'm all about it. All right, let's just jump in. Let's just jump right in here, boys. We're going to talk about the 6:30 game. 6:30, Dump and Chase Pitkin versus the Michael Scott Company. Dump and Chase Pitkin took a 15-8 win in that game. Did any of you guys check out or get an opportunity to be there for that 6:30 game?
Yeah, I saw the game from the penalty box. The teams are pretty evenly matched by the time I came in, so I wasn't quite sure which team was up big. But yeah, it seemed like it was a pretty even match at that point of the game. Yeah, looked pretty good.
That was the one game I did not get any eyes on. 7:30. I feel like Brendan, you might have a little bit of insight on this one. Pan Amherst 13 versus the Pontiac Firebirds 5. But what were your thoughts on that game?
Well, we kept the chances pretty low, and Mark makes it pretty easy when we do have a lapse to keep the score down. Know that in the third period we gave up a little bit, but it's going to happen when you have a team that it really wants to make a push. So it's one of those games where everyone is feeling out their new teammates and getting a good feel for what the bounces are again after a potentially long winter away from playing with a puck. And I loved our game. I was really happy with the motor and every single guy out there up and down, and it's a great game. I'm sure for the fans.
Mark's a great goalie to have behind you because it really allows you to play your game. Let you just kind of have a little bit of freedom, and you can kind of trust him to kind of have your back if you goof up, if you can't get back for a back check, or something else, Mark's going to be able to have your back and help you out there.
Yeah, he takes up so much of the net, and I was lucky enough to have him in fall session. Really a bit spoiled. So yeah, we'll see what happens in future seasons when I'm get a little lazy on the back check, but it's really nice to know that he's back.
Perfect. At 8:30, we had the Bugaboo Creek Freaks 15 against the Napster Marauders 8. I mean, this was Steve Leduc's Welcome to the RFHL, I'm a Human Being game. I mean, Bugaboo was just relentless. I got a good eye on that game. I did stats, and Bugaboo just did not stop. The pressure, the forecheck, the shots, the shot blocking, everything that they did was just like perfect.
I think everybody on that team scored a goal in that game. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, the shot blocks were just crazy. I was able to watch that game too. I caught the second half of it, and that was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the Bugaboo Creeks definitely kind of solidified their places where they're going to be for this season. I think they were in the middle, I feel like, last week with the conversation between Rob and Bob and 2.0 as far as like the way they see the season going. They were kind of in the middle as far as like expectations, I feel. I don't know if the expectations was as high, but they were just a dominant force. So week 1, anything can happen. You never know. They might just go 1-9. Who knows? You know what I mean? But like, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. That team's was pretty scary, and we're interested to see where week 2 and 3 and 4 bring them. And then 9:30. I feel like this was going into the game a weirdly one-sided bias of assumptions. The Blockbusters, the least talked about team. No one really talked about them. There was almost no expectation, and honestly, that was a tough game. Matt, you guys were very strong to play against. I know the first 2 periods may not have showed what the result was at the end. But I mean, I think our both goalies played incredible.
Paul was unreal in goal last week. He was standing on his head in that game. For someone who's his first time playing goalie in the RFHL, he did outstanding. He definitely, I thought we could have had at least a couple more goals, but he kept that game close, and yeah, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It was we were down there and we came back in the third period. Sometimes you get down, like I think we were down 4 or 5 goals. I can't remember.
I think going in the third it was 5-2.
I was kind of like in the past. Sometimes you get down and 1 period to go and you're like, I don't know, but our team, we stuck with it and we would get the win. Fun game though. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was definitely a great game, and I feel like your team is so well rounded as far as how to push the intensity with the puck, but also being able to possess and look for each other and pass the puck really well. And then Kaz just dialed in that third period. He just, I mean, honestly, again, like I said, both goalies the whole game. Like we ended the first period 0-0, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, how often does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, double shutout period, and then again. Paul only let in 2 in the second, but then Kaz only let in 2 in the third. It was just the way that those periods flip-flopped, and that game was. And everyone I did notice from last week that was the game of the week by Rob and Bob, I believe.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we put on the game of the week.
I think they were accurate with their choice of game of the week.
Yeah. I mean, if you go off scores too, I mean, it definitely was. We're the only 1-goal game the whole season, last week. So yeah, that's our recap of week 1. I mean, Matt, we kind of talked about it just now a little bit, and I mean, Brent, I guess we already did. My first question really was, how did you guys feel about your week 1? Brendan, I kind of will go back to you here for a second. I know we talked about how you feel like you're spoiled with Mark, but how do you feel about your team after week 1? Like, how did that game feel?
A great game that you felt really confident that when you make a run, somebody's going to fill in the back. We had a lot of great centering passes, so into the corner and back out to the slot where, there were a lot of great runs. I know that Cannonball really finished a beautiful goal on similar sort of play where he took the pass and just ripped it top glove side, I think. And we've been seemingly we didn't talk about what sort of looks to go for, but we kept on feeding that. It was really nice we had a good solid defense. We were swapping out a Cannonball and Rob, and yeah, a lot of up and back, and it seemed like there was a pretty good chemistry immediately. So we'll see if that was just a fluke or not.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. Your chemistry is not a fluke. I mean, I don't want to give away your game plan because I don't know the game plan, but I've watched Steve and Lasagna play together a handful of times. And the only thing I tell you right now is this is the kind of team where you keep your stick on the floor at all times, because those guys move fast and they move the puck really well. And then Sweet unlocked the cheat code, because one thing that when I helped Matt, when me and Matt McCarchuk last season talked about drafts, we kind of had our eyes on George Kuhn, because George Kuhn is he's like a quarterback on the floor. The way he knows how to position, where to put the puck, when to pass, where to pass. He's so good at moving that puck around and his puck knowledge on the floor. And the cheat code here was the conversations that I've had with Matt, I've had with multiple people, is you, Brendan, are almost just like a George Kuhn Jr. Like, watching you play in the winter and then also watching you last season in your rookie season, your knowledge of where to be at all times. You had so many good no look passes that were just like, it's because you knew where people were going to be. So having you and George on a team is just like that's a great combination. So I mean, you guys are definitely going to be a fast team with great puck movement. So it's going to be exciting to watch. So again, not trying to give away secrets. I know how Sweet plays. Definitely a lot of good give and goes. So just something to keep an eye on. That your team's going to be filled with that speed and chemistry for sure.
Yeah. Sweet's just everywhere. That he's going to be the first in on the puck, and whether it's a shot or finding the open guy, he's always pretty good at that. But that the speed is something that we're focused on to make sure that all of the gaps are really closed, and something here where if you're gassed and you can't make that closure really quick, that's really good at getting off real quick and making sure that somebody else who's a little fresher gets back on. So it was great to see in week 1 as well.
Awesome. Matt, I mean, we briefly talked about it during our game, but how did that game feel for you guys as far as a team? Would you feel like you guys accomplished something? Did you figure out a chemistry or a flow that worked for you guys?
Yeah, I would say so. I think kind of the third period kind of showed, that we kind of clicked. We were down and then we kind of came together and we were able to come back and get the win. But for me, I've never played. Noobs is the only guy that I've played with on that team. So this was all new for me. But I feel like it kind of clicked. We kind of figured out how everybody wants to play. We kind of had a strategy going in on how to play you guys and how we wanted to play offensively and defensively. I thought I think our chemistry was really good. I know we were down one of our rookies. So we'll see how it goes next week when we get him back. And Matt, now we got another Matt in the league, Rockefeller. He fit in perfectly. He definitely's got a good hockey IQ. He had some good shots. I know he didn't get a goal, but he had some good looks on net. Again, Paul played great. So I'm looking forward to how the rest of the season goes with our team. And it's nice having Steve in that. I hate playing against him because I can never score. So it's nice having him back there.
Oh yeah, Kaz is fantastic. He was definitely a great goalie I had on my championship run team that I had, and he's just, again, another reliable goaltender that will always have your back. Mistakes made, he's going to be able to back you up. And the great thing about him is he openly communicates those too as well. If you see something that he goofed up on or something that he needs from you, he's going to let you know, and he's honest about what he does. And it makes it great to have a goalie who's honest and doesn't just tell you like, oh, hey, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. Like he'll let you know, okay, I need something here. I need something here. And it really helps really fine tune the game and the team.
Yeah, he was great. Definitely good job communicating back there in the crease.
I really like that you mentioned Matt Rockefeller as well, because I watched him during the rookie game and he landed right where I expected him to land on the draft, right around that 4-5 range. Because he was in the rookie game, he was just all over the place, just so fast, quick to get to the puck. Really didn't see too much of his puck movement or his shots. Just he had a couple goals in the rookie game, but seeing him now in an actual game, seemed like he picked it up pretty well.
Yeah. He looks like he's been playing. He looked like a veteran out there in the league already. And you guys on your team there with Goals R Us, Al had a great game for you guys. For his first RFHL game, and I think 2 goals and 2 assists for him.
Yeah, and 6 blocks.
Well, I didn't have that, but wow, yeah, good start for you.
Yep, I was definitely really excited. Al's been somebody I've been trying to get in the league for a few seasons, and I was excited for him to actually get in the league the year I get to be captain. So he just missed it by one person last season. So I was all over it. I said, get in the Winter Classic, get the feel for it, see if you like it. Loved it. And then I was like, well, if you love the Winter Classic, you're gonna love regular season. So so I was like, I was definitely excited to get him in there, and finally got him locked in. Next thing I just kind of want to talk about, I'll stay with you real quick, Matt, is now that you've kind of felt that week 1, you got a rookie who did miss a game last week, but hopefully he's going to be there this week, have a full team. What do you think your team, how do you feel like this season's going to play out for your team? Do you think you're going to be that top competitor? Do you think you're going to go for the ship? What do you think? Obviously everyone's expectations is to be up there. How do you feel your team's going to be running this right now?
Yeah, I think obviously everybody wants their team to be the team to go win the championship. So yeah, I think our team's going to go win the championship. That's what the goal is. But I think they mentioned it last week. These teams this year, there's like everybody. All these teams look so good. I mean, I can't say there's really just a number one team that's going to run away like we had last year. Kind of after a couple weeks in. Every team is going to be a difficult matchup. But just how we played off of week 1 here, we seem to have been clicking. We were down and we rallied back and were able to win. So, I think that was kind of like a big momentum thing for us winning that game. And hopefully we can take that into week 2 and for the rest of the weeks upcoming.
Awesome. Brendan, what do you feel like? Do you feel as if your team's going to keep rolling with the same consistency that you had in week 1, or do you think you're going to have to figure out some growing pains, or is it just going to, how do you feel like this season's going to play out for you guys?
Well, I think we can expect 5 goals from George every week. And when you have that kind of production, it's going to make it really easy with Mark back there. But I think, as we said, every team wants to get that really hard push for the championship. And I think we've got the speed and just the on-puck tenacity to make a run for it. But every week, with teams being so close, it's going to take a few weird bounces one way or another that maybe last week went your way, but this week didn't. Hopefully the coin flips are in our favor. Every week, looking at the matches from last week, maybe darn close. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the season always can just be anything that you might not think it's going to be. I mean, last year we did have the number 1 team, but I feel like all the other teams, there was a different flux of like what we expected. I mean, and no knock on Mark, because I think this could be Mark's revenge season, but Mark didn't have the big great start last season as he's having this season. Mark, I think, was 0-3 to start last season, or 0-4, which is not like Mark at all. 3-time goalie of the year. The dude's usually pulling up on at least 2 or 3 wins out of the first 4 games. So, I mean, starting off 1-0 already is great. And then he played fantastic when he subbed the next game after that. Played absolutely fantastic against Leduc. So, I think Mark, again, like I said, this might be his revenge season. Maybe he wants to make up for what might have been going on last season. I don't know if maybe he had stuff going on outside RFHL, but he's already looking like prime mark again. Last thing I got before we get into our preview here is as I mentioned earlier, Brendan, this is your second season. Matt, this is, I believe, your third RFHL season. So now you guys are here. You guys are what we would call, you're already legally veterans. You're starting to get to that seasoned veteran state. You got in the league. You came back. You've been consistently coming back. Brendan, how do you feel about it? What's your thoughts on this league now that you're in? Now that you're locked in?
Well, I'd like to think that things are slowing down a little bit. It's my first time playing with a puck, so there are a lot of weird bounces. I was playing for a few years, a couple times a week, just with a ball, with just kind of pickup kind of thing, and and having so many really good players, that you don't have the time, so that maybe in my first few games, it was just firing it down, just to sort of stem, make it a little easier, but without producing much. But I'm hoping that things are slowing down a little bit, to get back into shape and get more of my motor back. That we'll see. But I would say just having that initial, oh my God, these guys are better than players I played with before. They're coming at me. How do I make the right play first? Hoping at least that it's happening more often than not. So I'm getting a little bit of a feel of where the bounces are, going in which direction, where the puck will end up. Just getting a better feel, even watching the YouTube feeds of games that can't pick up. Just knowing what the tendencies of the other guys are.
Awesome. Yeah, good, man. I'm glad. Like I said, I'm not talking BS or blowing smoke when I say that the way you play the game out there, the way we've watched, especially the games I broadcasted, and I'm not alone with the people I've had conversations with. Every time I've made the George Kuhn comment, like everyone's like, "You're right." The way you play out there is very calm and collective, and you can tell that you're reading the floor the right way. And I'm glad that you can feel that game is slowing down a little bit for you on the gym floor, because the gym can be chaotic. I mean, I don't know if you've played summer at Westgate, like Chief Westgate over here, but playing out there is also a little bit different. You're playing with a ball, and it's a little bit, in my opinion, feels a little bit wider. Might not be, but it's all different, especially because you said you played pickup with a ball. I played ball hockey in different leagues, whether it be full court or in a different kind of setting. So like, it's totally different playing in the gym with a puck. So glad to see that you're getting a little bit of control and feeling the way the game's moving here. Westgate, third season deep. How are you feeling as far as your comfortability in the league? What do you love about the league? Everything. Where are you standing at?
Yeah, I think for me, it's coming a little bit easier now. We're on year 3. 2 seasons, 1 full year. We're in. We kind of understand how most of these guys play. And this week for me, I got a goal in week 1, and I don't think I've done that the first 2 seasons. So, I'm just, happy that I'm seeing for myself personally, I'm seeing some progress. So yeah, I think the game's, like Brendan said, it's slowing down. You kind of can, you're learning and understanding, a bit more on how to play. So yeah, I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that just makes me happy. I'm glad to see that you guys are both enjoying the league. First off, second off, you're feeling comfortable in the league, because I mean, again, you're legally veterans, so you can sign up at any time. You can take 5 years off and come back, and you can still sign up for the RFHL without having to wait for the rookie sign up. But the fact that you guys consistently are still coming back each season, even filling in between, Brendan playing the Winter Classic, so I mean, it's just that's awesome, and it's great exposure for the league, and I'm glad to see that you guys are also just kind of you're drinking what we call the Kool-Aid and accepting everything that is the RFHL. I mean, look at that guy; he's literally drinking. Nobody can see it right now because it's not on Zoom like 2.0's fancy ass, but he's definitely drinking the Kool-Aid out of that RFHL mug.
Yeah, I was told, week one, I was talking to Paul and Sweet, and they're like, Matt, you're going to lose your Westgate for not showing up to the Winterfest. So, because is that where you got that mug from, Brennan? Is that the Winterfest mug?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I usually show up. I think that it would have been about like my fourth year in a row, and that's how I got started in the league. And that's how I got the Westgate nickname, for just being there all the time. So they're like, because you missed it, we're gonna revoke your Westgate nickname. So
You're regular man.
yeah, me and all like what, 6 of us at this point.
I don't know, man. From my RFHL experience, once the nickname is embroidered, it's stuck. So I don't think you're losing the Westgate Matt anytime soon.
Yeah, everything's that I have that I bring with me to the gym, it's labeled Westgate. I'm not putting Matt on that thing. They're gonna be like, all right, now we've got to play. Oh, okay, which Matt is this? Call everybody on your phone.
Especially now that you're in your 3rd season, I think it's definitely established the fact that we don't have to call you Matt anymore. Like sometimes I feel like even last season, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's Westgate out there. Like, who's Westgate? Like, oh, Matt, that guy right there. Oh, okay. Or like the guy with the yellow shoes. Like that's Westgate Matt. But now it's gotten to that established point that you're just Westgate. Like you don't have to put Matt on things. You can be on a team like you were like 3 seasons ago with Matt Whitmire, Matt McCarthy.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to worry about being on it. And again, you're on a team with multiple Matts. What the hell's going on here?
I know. I introduced myself to Matt. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Matt. I was like, oh, it makes it easier for us. But I was like, everybody's going to call me Westgate. So now here comes the cat again.
Oh, perfect.
I got 2 on my lap now.
It was actually really fun. I was trying not to laugh, but like Brendan was talking, I just saw the one tail just creeping in on the camera. It just slowly sliding in.
I was just like, please don't knock anything down.
All right, cool. Let's move into our week 2 preview and wrap this up late. So I'll go through these games. We'll do a quick 1, 2, 3, and then we'll kind of go through. And if you guys want to pick a game of the week, and then we'll go back through and any predictions you guys have. Actually, what we'll do is we'll go through. We'll mention each game, and then I'll have you guys go through. You can throw it on a prediction if you want, but then also mention what you think would be the game of the week. Starting at 6:30 this week, we've got the Pontiac Firebirds versus Goals Are Us. At 7:30, we've got Dumpin' Chase Pickin taking on the Blockbusters. At 8:30, we've got Bugaboo Creek Freaks against the Pan Amers. And then at 9:30, we've got the Michael Scott Hockey Company taking on the Napster Marauders. We're going to start with you, Westgate. Go ahead and if you want to give me some predictions of these games and then pick a game of the week.
Yeah, the 6:30 game, Firebirds Goals Are Us. Both teams coming off a loss. So should be an interesting. I know Matt wasn't in goal for Firebirds week 1, so that should be interesting to see how that goes. I have your team, Rob. Goals Are Us. I have you guys taking that. I don't have a score, but I have you guys taking that one at 6:30. You want me to keep going through?
Oh yeah.
All right,
go ahead and give me your predictions for all the games, and then let me know what your game of the week would be.
Yeah, 7:30. That's Dumpin' Chase versus my team, the Blockbusters. Obviously, I'm going to choose my team, but definitely we got to limit the chances from Dumpin' Chase foes. Shane, even Keller had a great game, so just limit those chances and just get up early and go from there. 8:30. Bugaboo versus Pan Amers. This is my game of the week. I think this is going to be a really good game. I got Bugaboo taking this one just of how week 1 went. Sorry, Brennan, on that. Everybody scored on Bugaboo's team last week. They all block shots. Both these teams, you guys block shots. It's going to be Brett versus Mark in goal. I'm expecting maybe a low scoring game here. So I have Bugaboo taking this one. And then 9:30, Michael Scott versus Napster. I got another game where both teams coming off a loss, so both teams will want to get in the win column. This one was a tough one. I really didn't. I kind of. They were both even. Last week, they both the scores were both 15-8 for both of these two that they played. They both scored 8, and they both let in 15. So if I'm going to throw just Michael Scott out there. This one was a toss up. I couldn't get a real pick in there, so I'm going to go with Michael Scott at the 9:30 game.
All right, thank you. Brendan, what do you got? What are your predictions, and then game of the week?
Sure thing. Right up front, I've got home sweep. Based on what I've seen here, first game, goals are us. Guys are creating the Winter Classic New Horizon magic. A lot of you guys still on that same team, so Rookie L looks like we expected him to look. The classic, just calm, collected, shot blocking, and then just bombs from the point. So I goals are us up front. That first game, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think any of these will be easy. But next up, we have Blockbusters. Team. Pick you guys, even though went against us. Doesn't matter. I think you guys are going to take it. And yeah, double Chase picking. I know that Justin in the rookie game looked like he had some really sweet hands and a couple of really nice shots. And I didn't see the game. It looked like he picked up a couple. So you get some rookie magic to keep things even. But it's the third game. Not to call my own game the game of the week, but it will definitely feel like that. Just looking at the scoring from week 1, sort of the highest scoring game was the highest scoring game as far as points. So I think it's going to be, again, we're the home team, so I'm picking us, but it should be not even close to being easy. After seeing what Blue Creek did last week. My own son was wearing his Emmerich practice jersey around today, so I was feeling pretty good until he turned around and the logo on the back was Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse. So I didn't know what that was until it was staring me right in the face. And my own son I'm going to say he's probably pulling for the other team just because he always roots for the bad guys and everything.
Oh, man.
We'll see what kind of punishment I can dole out to turn him around. But again, with Mark, even though it's been a pretty high-scoring set of teams, not so much in week 2. And Napster Marauders, you have pile everywhere on the floor at once. And Luke, obviously, not to overshadow everyone else on the team or on the other team, but I think they even things up at 1-1 after this week 2.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Throw my input on this week. The 6:30 game. Obviously, I'm going to take goals are us here. No shot at my fellow comrades on the Pontiac Firebirds. Much respect for everyone there, but got to take my own team here. 7:30. We got Dump and Chase picking with the Blockbusters. Going to be a tight game, but I'm taking Dump and Chase picking on here. Yeah, they look. I went back and saw a couple highlights from that 6:30 game, and I mean John Foes and Shane Ryan, that combo alone, that's scary. And I mean, Kaz is a fantastic goalie, but between Shane and John, I think they're going to find ways to find tiny holes on Kaz, and pick them apart. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game by any means, but that's going to be the toughest thing. And I mean, Prizzy, I think he's going to be an underrated goalie, and I think everyone's going to see it. Prizzy's going to be a tough goalie to beat for a rookie goal in the RFHL. And then we've got Bugaboo Creek Freaks and Pan Americs. I don't know if everyone else agrees, but I think this is going to be the game of the week this week. I really do. I think it's going to be a tight one. You've got Bugaboo, who's just relentless. Like you did say, the shot blocking, but then you've got the speed and the puck moving of Pan Americs. It's just, and then the goalies. Everything about this comes out to being like a 6-5 game. Yeah, or even overtime. I think this comes down to a 1-goal game. I don't know how low scoring. I don't think it breaks 10 goals. I think the over under on this is probably going to be under 20. So I'm taking Pan Americs with this one. I just think you got Mark, and again, if Mark's going to come in this game as confident as he is, and the Pan Americs can kind of bring that heat. Brett missed week 1. He hasn't had his warm up game in the season yet, so. Who knows how it's going to go? So I'm taking Pan Americs win the game of the week there at 8:30. And then Michael Scott Company versus Napster Marauders, the RFHL After Dark. I'm going to have to take the Napster Marauders here. Steve doesn't like to lose. And I think Leduc's going to come out with some fire. And I hope Kenton's wearing extra padding because those shots are hurt. And Steve is going to be firing on all cylinders. So Kenton, be prepared, buddy, because Leduc's coming with fire. I guarantee it. And then Kyle is the same way. Kyle doesn't like to lose either. So, and like you said, Brendan, he's all over the place. So that team's going to come with some speed. And I know Michael Scott Company is capable of combating that, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to handle that storm.
I still have a black toe from Steve for getting in the way of one of our team's shots. So, yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, man, that shot. I told Sweet that I would play goalie this season if we didn't have enough goalies, and I was just like hesitant because I was like, I just don't want to play against Leduc. I just don't want to do it. And if I play goalie, I want to make sure I'm on his team because I don't want to have to deal with those. Cool. Before we wrap up here, just want to throw out there that we have the podcast pool of destiny that we've been going on starting from week 1. We're 2.0, the Rob and the Bob. The Rob, it's not the Rob, it's Maston. Sorry to confuse everybody. The Rob Maston and 2.0. Kind of keeping track of the podcasters' predictions. I obviously dropped mine. I've got the Bob's predictions. The Bob would like to say that the Firebirds are going to win 6:30. Dump and Chase over the Blockbusters. Americs over the Bugaboo Creek Freaks, and Michael Scott over the Napster Marauders. 2.0 throwing his predictions of goals are us over the Firebirds. Chase Pitkin over the Blockbusters. Bugaboo over the Pan Americs, and Michael Scott over the Marauders. Didn't get Rob Maston's predictions. Rob Maston, if you're watching the podcast, make sure you put your information in the Discord so we can keep track of your picks, Mr. Maston. Well, gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the podcast. This was a great run. Do you guys have anything else that you guys would like to put out there or say?
No, I think we covered it all. Shout out to Prizzy getting his first RFHL win. I don't think we mentioned that, so I did catch a little bit of that game, and he looked pretty good out there. So congrats to him for his first RFHL win.
Oh yeah, Brandon, any last thoughts?
No, counting down the days.
Awesome. Well, when this comes out, we're going to only have one more day before RFHL. But as always, the number one question is burning in everyone's brains at all times. Is it Wednesday yet?